The reason why I am sharing this with you is because many times people tell me, I feel so helpless. What am I going to do as an individual about national security? I'm only one voice. Who's going to listen to me? What difference am I going to make? You are looking at the example, at the epitome of the human spirit triumphing against all odds when you put your mind to it. And I shared that with you because now I'm going to start talking about what you can do to make a difference for our country. I needed to give you the inspiration. I needed to ignite your passion, because if I can do it, so can you. If I can do it, so can you. I remember when I started writing my book, Because They Hate. I didn't think I had the ability to write a book in English. I was insecure about my English. I thought, you know, even though I speak it, I do not think I can write a book. So my husband told me, Brigitte, your English is great. You know, people like you coming through the book. And I said, no. I want to take me out of the book. I want it to sound so American. So I go out and I hire a writer from Washington, D.C. to write my proposal to present it to the publisher when I pitched my book, because I wanted to take my voice out of it. I wanted to take my ethnic voice out. I wanted to be an American. I wanted Americans to be able to read my book. So finally, I'm speaking to the publisher. They make a conference call with me on the telephone. And the lady talking to me on the other line, we talked for like 45 minutes. And halfway through the conversation, she said, did you write the proposal? Who wrote the proposal? You didn't write that proposal. And I said, well, actually, I hired this lady to write the proposal because I didn't know if you're going to like my accent. We needed to have somebody like with an American flair who can write the book. She said, oh, no. If you're going to write the book, if we're going to sign the contract, we want you and no one else to write the book, because we want this passion to come across. And right now, that passion is not in that script. So I did. I not only wrote a book in English, but I wrote a book that became a New York Times bestseller, and they're calling it in the publishing world a publishing phenomenon, that an unknown author, first-time author, an unknown name would write a book, and it will take this country by storm and become a New York Times best-selling author. If you would have told me that back then, I wouldn't have believed it. But I believe it now. It took a little nudging from somebody else, but I was able to do it. Again, today, when I look back, I am convinced that once we have the confidence within our soul that we can do something, we will do something. When we can believe that we can make a difference as an individual, we will make a difference. When we have enough passion to help us make that difference. And now I'm going to tell you what you can do to make a difference. I founded American Congress for Truth back in 2002 after September 11th because I wanted to educate millions of uninformed Americans about the threat of Islam, not radical Islam, Islam to world peace and national security. I started sending out emails. I started it out of my office sitting in my house. It was very tough. Nobody was willing to listen. And I remember for 2 years sending emails out, talking to my friends, trying to change their opinion. And nobody wanted to listen. They got to the point where they thought I was possessed. That's all I talked about. And I'm sure many of you probably experienced losing some friends because of your passion towards what's happening. And I remember things got so tough that between 2002 and 2004, my husband and I canceled our health insurance policy because our business was down because of the recession after September 11th. You know, advertising is the fluff. That's the first thing to be cut out of any corporation. So nobody was calling us. We lost our clients. We had to cancel our health insurance so we can afford to put gas in my car so I can travel from church to church, at least in our area in Virginia, and speak my message and mobilize the troops. In 1 year, I gave 143 presentations in 143 churches, and I was able to do it. And things went on, and I thought, you know, I'm going to stick with it because this is my passion. I have found my purpose, and I did. And I started educating, and more people started opening their eyes. It took them a little time to catch up, but the more I stuck with it, the more I realized people started taking everything I said seriously because they knew I knew what I was talking about and I was passionate about what I was talking about. And things grew. When we published the book Because They Hate, our membership soared. Thousands of people nationwide, including many of you, and I thank you so much. And I realized this year, it's not enough to educate, because we can have all the education we want in the world, but education without an action plan that teaches us what we can do as individuals is not enough. There's a lot of education out there, but still people ask, what can we do? Because nothing is changing. So we founded this year, we launched actforamerica.org. Act for America is our lobby political activity organization where we can do things we could not do under American Congress for Truth. Many people ask me, probably even sitting in the crowd today, what's the difference between the two organizations? We realized that under American Congress for Truth, we could only lobby 10% of our efforts and use our money 10%. And that's it. And we realized we required lobbying in order to make a difference in our country. So we launched Act for America so we can lobby, we can mobilize the nation and set up chapters nationwide. People ask me, what is my voice going to do when I tell people you need to call your elected official, get in touch with your elected officials? People will say, what is my voice going to count? I'm only one out of, how many thousands? They're not going to listen to me. I talk to elected officials all the time, and I ask them, how many people do you need to hear from in order for you to make an issue your top priority where you have to pass a law about it or legislation? And you will be shocked. On a national level, it takes 40 to 50 people. That's it. 40 to 50 people. And here is the science behind the numbers. They consider every phone call or a letter a representative of 1,000 people, because they believe that if one person has the energy to make a phone call, he or she are representing 1,000 couch potatoes who feel the same way but are too lazy to make a phone call. That translates to 40 to 50,000 votes on election day. That can make or break an election. And this is how important your voice is. Can you imagine? Look at the room tonight. If 30 or 50 of you call your elected officials in this state about an issue that you are so passionate about, the Muslim education in the schools, you're going to see a difference. And I'm going to show you how we can make a difference like that. You all remember the John Bildo, where US Air last year kicked out 6 imams off the airplane because they were praying and causing suspicious activities? Well, CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, sued actually US Air and wanted to sue the people that reported the suspicious activity on the plane. They were actually 2 elderly couples traveling on vacation. And Congressman Pearson from New Mexico introduced a legislation, H.R. 1640, a bill that says no one can sue any American reporting suspicious activities in order to protect the country. We found out about the bill on Wednesday. We sent an email out to our membership, to everybody on our membership, and we said, contact your congressman today and make sure that bill passes, because we need to make sure we protect Americans. In one day, Thursday, over 100,000 phone calls went to Congress. The bill passed 320.